And we're back. Changed up intro a bit. Maybe someone notices. So, long story. Well, not even a long story. So, I recorded this yesterday. It's right now Saturday afternoon. I recorded this yesterday evening. I hear a plane. I hope that's not too loud, but I'll try and talk over it. I recorded this yesterday evening. That very evening, Shane made two trades. Who is my opponent this week? So, I originally thought that night, I was like, okay, if it's not too significant, I can keep the team builder and explain that he made trades before the match. However, I think it's significant enough I should do my team builder again. So that's why we're here. Last week, if you didn't see, we lost a wham, I think 4-0. So we're now 2-2, and I think we're tied ninth, eighth, ninth. So we're still in the middle of the pack, but we just gotta try and secure that playoff position. But yeah, we're facing Shame this week, and moving on to his team, it's Rotom Wash, Rotom Heat, Lucario, Rotom Mo, Articuno, Rotom Frost, Dragonite, Spiritomb, and his two new mons are Hakamo and Alolan Executor. He originally had Torracat and Sudowoodo. So going over Shane's Mons, I guess I can group all the Rotom forms together, just because he has 4 out of 5 of them. The one I'm mainly worried about is Rotom Mo. The others I can semi-deal with, like Ferrothorn kind of deals with Rotom Wash, even if I get Will-O-Wisp. Like Latias deals with all of them, basically, except Rotom Frost. And Rotom Frost can't really deal with something like Quagsire, because it doesn't get Freeze Dry, it only gets Blizzard. So there's that. Regular Rotom, on the other hand, we had a regular Rotom last season. Wasn't too big of a fan. So, kind of not too worried about it, even if the ghost typing might be alright against my team. Lucario is a great mon, but it's very hard to use, I find, in Draft League, especially nowadays. I know a lot of people are fans of Lucario. You know, Gen 4 really brought it up in the spotlight. Pokemon movie, Smash, you know. But its 90 base speed nowadays is a bit hard to work with, but it still can run a lot of different sets. Articuno might be the second scariest mon on Shame's team for me. Besides, actually, it might be no. I'll call it second still. But Ice type is really good against my team. I really need to find a counter to an Ice type, and then Flying type is also decent against my team. But everything that kind of resists Ice, which is nothing, also gets hit by Flying. So I've gotta really try and hit it hard if it comes in. Since we've done all the Rotoms, next up is Dragonite. I find Dragonite actually really underrated because it has multi-scale and now it has heavy duty boots. So no matter what, if you come in with heavy duty boots, your multi scale is going to stay intact because usually that was a big problem with Dragonite that Stealth Rocks made multi scale really hard to work with. But now you don't have to worry about that. So Dragonite's up, multi scale, take a hit, maybe Dragonite's up a second time, and then go for a sweep. Spiritomb is an interesting one. I saw Shame run Nasty Plot once, and running running special is alright. It also gets physical moves, but it's just a very bulky mon overall, only one weakness in Fairy. And now onto his new mons. And just thinking about it now, just thinking about my recording yesterday, it was really funny because I was like, last season I faced Kevin, right? So this is for people who probably didn't watch last season, who probably didn't know. From my perspective, I played Kevin, and I said in that video that I was prepping for a specific team, and I hope he doesn't deviate from it. And that week, it was like week 8 or 9, he changed his team up. So literally, week 1 to 7, he had the same team the whole time. So I'm like, oh, I know what he's gonna bring, and he brings something different, and it became a much harder battle at that point. Now with Shame, in my team builder yesterday, I talked about this, and I'm like, well, he's brought the same team for weeks 2 to 4, and I really hope he doesn't change it. And now here we are, him changing the team. So now I'm a bit more worried. Not about Hakamo though, because I think I have Comfey, which is a really good counter, but it's not a bad mon for sure. But I looked it up and he doesn't get Stealth Rock, and Shame now doesn't have a Stealth Rock user, just because I believe Sudowoodo was his only Stealth Rock user in the team before this one. So Hakamo only gets like DD and stuff. It doesn't get like Clanger or Soul. It doesn't get like a lot of combos, maybe cool moves, but it's still a very versatile mon. Alolan Executor, though, is kind of a mon I'm worried about. Let me just take a sip of water. I've realized, I know, like, you won't see it now, but my previous team builder, my gulping was really loud with water, so I don't know what's going on with me. But, anyways, yeah, Alolan Executor is a pretty terrifying mon. I don't know what Shame's going to bring because Shame's very unpredictable in his sets, which is something that I really applaud him for. But or Alolan Executor, if it runs something like Choice Specs or runs something like Trick Room, is something I really have to be afraid of, and it's probably because of Alolan Executor. I kind of did like one or two move changes just because with Torracat, I was more prepared for Torracat and Sudowoodo, but I kind of had to adjust this morning just because of those two mons, and I didn't really prepare this much this week just because not because like I'm like oh I'm confident against Shame, but I just had a really busy week. School I had two midterms and a paper, so yeah, very little prepare time, and we said play this weekend. I said I message him today. I could take today to really like try and do the best I can, but we'll just play. It's not the end of the world. Like if like no matter, I can give excuses or something, but oh well. If I lose, I lose. It happens. So one thing to note: Shame has never brought Rotom forms. You see five Rotom forms on his team, and those are coincidentally the five Pokemon he leaves off his team. So what am I expecting him to bring? Lucario, Articuno, Dragonite, Spiritomb, Hakamo, Alolan Executor. Does this make my life easier or harder? I don't know, but going back to that whole Kevin analogy, I'm kind of prepared for the Rotom form, so I have like some form of like I guess resistance towards them. But otherwise, yeah, I don't expect them to come, but we'll see maybe today or tomorrow. Moving on to the team. So let's go first Mon. Comfey. So Comfey actually probably became better because he drafted two dragons and dropped Torracat, which is something I was actually really worried about because it kind of walls something like Comfey. Comfey doesn't have really anything for its weaknesses like steel and fire, and it doesn't have anything for poison really either. But yeah, Comfey was really good because it does well against Dragonite, does go well against Spiritomb. Can kind of take hits from Articuno because I'm running Calm Mind this week, and then and will do really good damage to Hakamo and Alolan Executor. I don't know if it Okos or not, but I have to be careful of stuff like Leaf Storm for sure. One move change I made to this is I had Leech Seed originally, but now because he has Alolan Executor, I believe it's gonna come, so I put on Synthesis instead, just for the instant recovery. Otherwise, I would have put Leech Seed for something like Torracat, just because it's like it might switch out a lot. So getting like some initial chip on it with Leech Seed would be nice. Sorry if you heard that, but yeah, max HP, max special attack, no speed this week, just because Shane's team's actually pretty slow. Even with Akamo and Lone Executor, I think his fastest one is Rotom, and then maybe it's like the other Rotoms. No, it'd be Lucario because Lucario's 90, Rotom's 91. But I thought about outspeeding those, but I felt like the bulk might be nice if I'm trying to go for like an end game sweep, so decided to go with that for Comfy. Next up, Quag. Quag is pretty valuable this game. I think valuable is the right word. But yeah, will help against something like Scorzan Lucario or DD Dragonite. Something I do have to be careful of though is that if Alolan Executor goes for Draco Meteors or Leaf Storms, its special attack drop doesn't matter. That's something like seems kind of funny with unaware mons is that if you actually go for like as he goes for Draco Meteor and does 50%, and then it usually cuts its special attack by half. Usually, then you're like, oh, it does 25%, but because of unaware, it actually keeps doing the same damage each time. So that's something I have to be wary about. Even though it'd probably just go for like a Giga Drain and kill me. Physical Wall, as I said, I'm actually running something interesting in Curse this week because I thought about using this bit of a dual mon because Toxic hits a lot of things like Dragonite, especially helps against multi-scale, Spiritomb, hits basically everything except Lucario, but Lucario can't really do much unless it's like Nasty Plot. Even then, it has to be like maybe like Specs actually. Ronomo actually does well with this, but then I can Toxic that as well. Curses there just kind of like a bit of an end game option, so I can go for curses and go for waterfall, which might be kind of cool. Maybe probably something I don't do, but it can be something I might try in the end. Ferrothorn next up. Let me take another sip. But yeah, Ferrothorn, rocker for this week. We're running Gyro Ball, Body Press, Protect, Stealth Rock. I originally had Leech Seed on this as well, but I switched them for Protect just in case something like a Alolan Executor is choiced. Because if it is choiced and it locks into like let's say Flamethrower, I can switch in Latias and kind of recover it off. Do things Latias, you'll see, actually, I didn't change its set, but it actually kind of still has a good set against 2 dragon types. So, yeah, we're running Gyro Ball mainly for Articuno, and yeah, I think that's it, but and also Dragonite if it goes for Dragon Dances and I don't have Quag. And Body Press is mainly for all the Rotoms and uh, Lucario as well. I'm running EV Spread. I'm running EV Spread wise. I'm running something from Smogon. I don't know what exactly it does, but I thought having a bit more special defense this time around would be better because something like Volt Switches, Articuno's Blizzards or Freeze Dries, I can take it a bit more. I could take it a bit better than if I ran physically defense like I usually do. So yeah, that's very fun. Next up, Pangoro. So this set also hasn't changed. I think I mentioned the only 2 changes I actually did make, which is just taking off Leech Seed off this team because I didn't think it'd be that good with the Lone Executor around. I might as well go for damage or instant healing or protect. Close combat and main stab move, especially with Scrappy because I can hit Rotom, I can hit Spiritomb. I don't know if I'm super effective against Spiritomb. Like I can hit ghost types, but is it like neutral effective? And since Spiritomb is also dark type, am I super effective against Spiritomb? I don't know. But close combat is a good all around stab move. Knockoff is good. Ice Punch was originally for Dragonite, but kind of works for both dragons now, even though I have to be careful of Hakamo. And Bullet Punch is good overall damage against his team. I'm running max HP and max attack. I don't know if I should change this just because originally with Torcat and Sudowoodo, I wasn't too afraid of Sudowoodo outspeeding me with max speed. Torcat is actually pretty fast at 90, and everything else was pretty fast as well, around like 80 to 90 range. So with Pangoro, I kind of barely underspeed stuff like Rotom machines, like Wash, Heat, Mow. So I thought about running no speed this week. But now with Lone Executor, which is actually has a slower base speed, but sometimes runs max speed. I might change this up, although I'll probably I'll probably say it if I do change it, just in case. I'm kind of leaning towards changing it now, just because if I can outspeed a Lone Executor that's not like Scarfed for some reason, I can easily go for Ice Punches, and otherwise, if it goes for Trick Room, then it's kind of like, oh, I'll just Bullet Punch it. Next up, Frostlass. Frostlass I should change this item as well. Although I don't know what I'm going to change it to. I'll do it later. But yeah, Frostlass easily is better without Sudowoodo and Torcat. And this was mainly for Dragonite, mainly for stuff like the Rotoms as well. Ghost typing stab is pretty good. And then I'll go for Hexes. That's the main, I guess, niche of this set. So Hex, Ice Beam, Destiny Bond, Willis, a bit different from last week because we ran physical, we're running special this week. Destiny Bond is kind of there as a last ditch option. Willis is mainly there for stuff like Dragonite, Lucario. Lucario is a big one if I want to Willis that. And maybe Hakamo as well, just because if it has a Violet, it might be a bit bulky for like Ice Beams. And I think it gets knockoff, so I have to be a bit careful there. But yeah, otherwise, pretty standard set. I'm running Modest this week just because, as I said, regular Rotom is Shame's fastest Mon, and I'm just outspeeding that, I believe. So I can afford to run Modest, get a bit more power in my hits. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Could I have ran anything else? Probably. I could have ran like triple axle. I could have ran physical Frostlass again because triple axle would have been really nice because I'm trying to remember. Dragonite's a multi scale because I hit once, I break multi scale, and then the other 2 hits aren't affected by multi scale. But I think with stuff like Pangoro's Bullet Punch and then Triage from Comfey, I believe I have Triage. Let's make sure. Yep, I have Triage. Stuff like Triage, it's I don't think I need to run something like Triple Axle or like Icicle Spear this week. So yeah, we went for special. Just cause. And then finally, Latias. Latias's set didn't change from last night, so we're running Habanberry originally for Dragonite, but now it kind of works against a Lone Executor. I can kind of switch it on a Draco Meteor, and then kind of kill it with a Dragon Pulse, and then Hakamo as well. So we have Dragon Pulse, Mystical Fire, Surf, Recover. I might take Surf off now. That actually might be something because Surf was originally for Torracat, and he doesn't have Torracat anymore. So Ice Beam might be a better option to easily kill a Lone Executor. But yeah, a bit of a tankier set just with Habanberry. Just live a hit and then deal as much damage as I can. Max HP, so not max HP, max special attack, and then the same speed tier as Frostlass because of the reasons I mentioned. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let me change this to Ice Beam right now because I think there's one change I'm definitely gonna make. I could run something like maybe Thunderbolt for like Articuno, but Mystical Fire is there for Articuno. And I think that's pretty much it. Also, that like Thunderbolt doesn't really hit like some Rotom forms, so Mystical Power might be a bit better. But yeah, that's the team. One thing that I want to note is that it's a bit of a test week for me, not because it's shame, but because I kind of feel like it's a good spot in the season where I need to test some stuff and really make changes to my team if I really want to ensure playoffs. I'm not bringing momentum. So Convey doesn't have U-turn this week. I'm not bringing other momentum users like Ninjask and Heliolisk because I want to kind of see how I function without it. Even though that's probably a bad thing to think of, experiment on, especially during actual match. But like stuff like Pangoro, I've been noticing that my team kind of wants a slower pivot, but I'm not. I don't really have slow pivots, so stuff like Pangoro needs to take a hit before it comes in. Stuff like Nidoking as well, because usually some mons are faster than Nidoking, so if I don't have a slower pivot to pivot out on like walls, it doesn't really get a chance to get a free hit off. So yeah, I'm gonna try and test this out with Pangoro this week, not have momentum and kind of predict around Shame if I can. And then I guess talking about Nidoking, we're talking about the mods I didn't bring this week. Nidoking, I feel like was just a bit too slow. It's at 85 and the roams are at 86. So yeah, I think I didn't think it was that great this week, even though it has the coverage to kind of deal with everything. Ninjask I felt was a bit too weak. I actually thought about running Ninjask because it kind of does well against Lone Executor, but I thought about it replacing Pangoro, and I decided to try to stick with the test with like no momentum, so I didn't bring Ninjask. I could bring Ninjask with no momentum, but I think it's just 100% worse if I don't have like a Volt Switcher or another U-turner on the team. And then Heliolisk I didn't bring, which might be a bit surprising because Hyper Voice does alright, but I feel like it's a weaker physical defense kind of doesn't help even with the removal of Torracat. Like stuff like Dragonite and Lucario probably destroy it. Altaria. Oh, I didn't talk about Kling Clan. Kling Clan I'm probably dropping. I thought about bringing it just because, it might have a Dragon resist. But Hakamo is fighting type, and then Alolan Executor has Flamethrower, which is something I'm really scared of. So that's why I kind of also brought a Protect on Ferrothorn, kind of just scout and move. So there's that. And then finally, Altaria. Altaria might be helped by the fact that there's two Dragon types because it's faster than both, I believe. But it ties a Dragonite. It kind of really doesn't deal with Articuno that well, so decided not to bring it. That's the team. I should be playing Shame either today or tomorrow, so whenever that is, I will see you all in the live battle. Live battle time. Shame is message challenge me, so we will accept this now. Yeah, that's what I expected. Just know. Oh, he did bring a Rotom this time. That's actually interesting. I don't know how much that changes for me. I did add speed to Pangoro, and then put Focus Sash on Frostlass, and then Ice Beam, as I said in the battle. But yeah. Let me just post the link. I think Shane's doing it, so I can do this. Let's see. What will he lead with? I'm okay leading with something like Quag or Pharaoh. Yeah, I'm okay with leading something like Quag or Pharaoh, or even Lottie's fine. I'm just trying to think. I don't really have a dedicated lead because if I can lead with this, but it's kind of like what happens. Leading Quag's not the end of the world, I think. Let's lead Pharaoh. I think Pharaoh's an alright lead. Because if he leads Eggy, I protect. If he leads Rotom, I just kind of get up rocks. Worst case, he whisks me, and that's not the end of the world, because Body Press still does a lot of damage. It just makes me a bit more weaker to Spiritomb. Yep, switches. That's fine. That special defense is handy. He probably goes Eggy or Luke, is my guess. If he goes Luke, I think I go Quag. If he goes Eggy, I think I protect. No matter the battle, I'm always going to be shaking and sweating, so that's fun. I have my heater on, but who knows. Also, by the way, it's just Sunday, so it's not Sunday. Oh my gosh, it's not Sunday. It's Saturday. Okay, went Articuno. That's not terrible for me. It's just I think this is my Articuno answer and nothing else, and this is fine. Would Gyro Ball or Body Press do more to a max HP Articuno? Let me calc quickly. Imported everything over, so it's kind of easier. Articuno, max HP, that's perfect. Gyro Ball does way more. Okay, so that's what we'll go for. Goes for default, that's fine. And then I take it out. That's max speed. With no HP. And that was a roll, honestly. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, what does he go into? Dragon. How much damage do I need for... What's it called? Comfey to kill a Dragon Knight. Let's say max HP. Because this might just kill me with like a flamethrower or something, so that's perfectly fine. Actually, I'll check afterwards, but let's say multi-scale is broken. I just want to see how much max special attack Dragon Kiss. 48. Wow, that's not a lot. Ferrothorn, let's say Fire Punch. Fire Punch, 80. So, yeah, Gyro Ball is probably my best bet. Goes for Fire Punch. And he takes Iron Barb, so that's perfect for me. And then I go for Rocks. Because if that was his Defogger, if Articuno is his only Defogger, this is completely fine for me, I think. Yeah. Go for Roost, that's fine. Then I can Gyro Ball again. Yep. Does this kill? No. Wait, how much did I do last time? 47, now this is 54. Okay. He can stall me out of Gyro Balls, but he does go for Fire Punch, so that's fine for me. Goes for DD, so this is a bit more scary now, but I wonder if Pangoro kills, because I'm pretty sure he's more inclined to stay in if it's Pangoro. Pangoro... We'll assume max HP. Or actually, I can calc it. Ferrothorn... 49.5 if its multi-skill is broken. I think it's max HP, so how much would Pangoro do? Pangoro does 12, so Comfey is always the choice, I think. Yeah. Draining Kiss kind of has no switch in, so that's good, because I'm pretty sure even Rotom Wash doesn't want to take Draining Kiss into Draining Kiss into Giga Drain. That's the word I was looking for. Oh, sorry if my typing's too loud. I don't even know how many of you are 5 are you in here. I didn't even notice. Oh, I didn't even notice Golden join. But yeah, this is a bit more scary with the Rotom, I think. If it's toxic, that is scary. Just because I'm not like Heal Bell or anything. Heal Bell might have been... Heal Bell I thought about because toxic is a very... plausible option. I was looking for the right word there. Probably likely option is probably what I was going for. But yeah, Draining Kiss would have been nice. Okay, let me see. Frisk, okay. This is going for a grass move. That's my thought. What do I need? I still need this for Spiritomb, that's the thing. Do I sack Pangoro here? Pangoro might be the... Actually, Pangoro might not be useless if it does okay against Spiritomb. Close combat kills. So that helps me. How much does this do to Rotom? Rotom wash. Pivot. Does alright. Not perfectly. And then Comfey against Eggy right now. I think only Choice Specs kills me, so I can freely go. Maybe Calm Mind's the better play. Excuse me. I put +1 on the wrong one. Calm Mind might be an alright play. Let's see what he goes for. Leaf Storm or goes for Trick Room. That's fine. That's fine. Only problem is if he's physical, but I can Draining Kiss freely here now. Because now Spiritomb can't switch in. Rotom is faster, but I have priority on everything. So this is where the Comfey stuff kind of comes in handy. Any special. That's perfect by me. Oh, and he's Life Orb. That seems really strong. +1? Is that just because of +1? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. This is a funny sweep because he should be... Oh, wow. How much do I do here? 55. Here's the thing. This will die. So I can... I believe I go first. Here's the thing. This will be a nice... Yeah, okay. I want to believe this is toxic, but... Rotom Wash, Hydro Pump, Giga Drain. Oh, Giga. Giga doesn't kill. +2 might have? Yeah, after Stealth Rock he has a good chance, but... Oh, and he's Rindo. That's pretty cool. This will die. So this should be a sweep for Comfey. So Comfey's priority being +3 really helps here, because something like Dragonite, if it had extreme speed, would be scary. This having Bullet Punch would have been scary. Does he go for... Oh. Wait, why did I do so little? I'm gonna give Shame where it's credit. I didn't expect that to live. Spiritomb. Let's see, Calm Mind maybe? Draining Kiss, so this is max special defense. 65.7. Am I just doing really bad damage or something? It's pressure. Well, I'm at +2. This is +1 still. So +1... Yeah, okay, so this is max HP. Yeah. Try Draining Kiss again. Oh, he switches out. That might be Death Sentence. I mean, it kind of already was, but... We're getting good, I guess. So... Anything I would have done differently this game? Not really. Trick Room Eggy's really cool, but this is always a threat. Just because I beat Trick Room teams with this kind of setup. Zoom, and then, yeah, I should win. I kind of want to switch out into this, but I don't know if this is like Sleep Talk Will-O-Wisp. We'll play it safe. Sleep Talk? Calm Mind. That's cool. That is cool. Is cool. That's a cool set. I think it's one. It might be a Smogon standard, but I still think it's cool. Plus I should still kill. So we win 5-0. I probably won't try and bore people too much with this one. Comfey was really useful. Would Rotoms have been more useful? I don't know. Would Hakamo have been useful? Not. So yeah, Comfey just did really well this game, just because Lucario is a steel type that isn't resisted by Fairy. So that's all for this week. I believe next week we're facing Katsu and I forget her team name. Eastern Sea Pancakes. Is that Katsu's? I'm not sure. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Maybe next week the team might look a little bit different, so watch out for that. All right. See you guys next week.